Welcome to this episode of The Wolf and the Shepherd. Today, figured we'd talk about some strange facts, right? Is that what we're going to be talking about?
Well, they're strange
Right.
in that I'm not sure if they're complete bollocks or not.
Oh, well, I thought we were going to do a little bit something along the lines of Stump the Shepherd.
We were.
Which we have not done in a very long time. And I know for a fact, number one, we haven't done it since we started filming everything.
Right.
You know, because way back in the day, we would do these Stump the Shepherd things, but then there was really no video proof that you weren't just like putting the answers in front of me and maybe I was getting them right, maybe I wasn't, and we were making it all up. So we kind of had this idea, hey, we haven't done Stump the Shepherd in a while, and you've got all of these strange facts or whatever that apparently, and we haven't talked about any of this, and now it's on video. It's not like he's going to be showing me the answers, anything like that. So, kind of looking forward to that. Now, another kind of ironic part going on right now. We're at the tail end of 2021.
And the arse end.
Yeah, the arse end of 2021. And we both have this stupid cedar fever. You know, and everybody thinks we've got COVID, but we don't have COVID. We've got this stupid cedar fever because of all the cedar that has blown into Texas. And so we both sound sick and we're both acting sick, but we don't have COVID.
We might do.
Well, we might have COVID,
But
we're
not
pretty
bothered.
sure we're not.
We live in Texas, so we don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, the reason I didn't do Stump the Shepherd is because I figured, well, I need something which really puts across exactly how confused you are, right?
Right.
When I ask some of these questions.
I've
And
already lost something. So that shows how confused I always am. But keep
Right.
going. I'm listening.
All right. Well, I did come across this website with a bunch of trivia stuff on it,
Okay.
but I didn't honestly know any of the answers to any of the questions, so I thought this just could be stump anybody.
Oh,
stump
okay. So
anybody type
it
thing.
stumped you to begin with, but now you
Yeah,
know the answer.
I mean, it wasn't even stuff which you could have a decent guess at. It's
Okay.
like, you know, guess how many insects were killed in Uganda last year and that type of stuff. So
More than 6.
I'm sure there's an actual answer there and somebody's got the data to back it up.
Sure.
But who bloody cares? It's in Uganda.
Right.
I don't care about how many dead insects are in Uganda.
Uganda's in South America, right?
No, it's kind of a little bit northeast of Poland.
That's in Europe.
Yeah.
Uganda's in Europe?
Not really.
Oh.
It's kind of in the Africa part of Europe.
Oh, South Europe.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
South Europe. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
well, actually, with the borders they have in Europe, yeah, Africa is actually Southern Europe.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's not inaccurate.
There's now about 19 people left in Uganda. I think the rest of them have all spread their way out in the European Union.
Probably.
Yeah. Good choice, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better tax
Yeah.
breaks.
Less piles of dead insects.
Yes,
Yeah.
apparently so.
So, what I figured, we'd try and find something a little bit more educational than Stump the Shepherd. So instead of me asking questions, you sitting there looking confused,
Right.
that would actually try and be educational and learn some things.
So we're actually going to learn something today.
Yeah, so
Okay, that's good.
I found a website. Now, most people will actually write notes down to make it look like they've done some great research, maybe done, you know, got info from various sources, you know,
Right.
maybe cite some proper research papers. I figured, no, I'm just going to read it straight from the website and
Right.
not even going to give a shout out to the website.
Well, maybe we should at the end.
Well, no, because I've never heard of this website. And so, you know, I mean,
But it's on the internet, so it's true.
well, I'm not even sure if the spelling's true and some of this. But anyway, we'll go with it anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So how's this going to work?
I'm just going to tell you the fact. You're going to tell me whether you think it's bullshit or not. And why you think it's bullshit.
Okay.
Right, okay. Actually, yeah. This is a good one to start off with because it's just, I don't know,
So
ridiculous.
this is true or false, basically.
Well, apparently they're all true, but
Oh.
this is us whether we think really
Okay,
it is true.
I'm with you.
Right, okay. I'll just read the title on the first one. Butterflies will drink your blood, sweat, and tears.
I think that's true. I think if they could, but I don't think they can. Isn't it something like the monarch butterfly is like super, super poisonous and could kill us if it could bite us?
A dragonfly, I don't know what you call them here, daddy long legs, or what do you call those things here in America? the daddy long legs thing.
The daddy long legs.
Yeah, those things, apparently they have really
I think that's
potent
but that's a wives'
poison.
tale, isn't it?
No, they just don't. They lack the fangs to deliver the
Like
poison.
a butterfly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how's he gone from having some poison to basically living off the product of your hard work, your blood, sweat, and tears?
I don't know.
And how do they know this? I mean, butterflies will drink your blood, sweat, and tears. Like, given the opportunity, like a cat will push you down the stairs.
Right. Well, maybe they take like a little bowl, and they put a little blood, a little sweat, and tears in little bowls, and then the butterfly drinks them.
It seems like setting them up.
Well, that's what we spend all that tax money for all these experiments, right? So some scientist somewhere got a grant and was able to study this. So I'm going to say this is true.
Right, okay. Well, I'm going to read the little blurb which comes with it.
Okay.
It says, if given the chance, even the loveliest butterfly would drink your bodily fluids.
Right.
Pornhub has missed a trick there.
I think
with that
so.
one. There needs to be some cosplay going on there.
Possibly.
Right. Butterflies do something called mud puddling, wherein they hover over pools of liquid, in many cases mud, blood, feces, and other stuff, to determine if it has nutrients they want. Human blood has a ton of valuable nutrients. Don't get too scared, though. Butterflies won't bite you like a vampire.
Oh.
So that's that. So,
But is that why vampires drink your blood? Is for the nutrients?
no, we've gone over this, mate. When we did that 5.5 hour special production on
I tuned
Vlad
out
Tepes.
in like hour 1.5.
Well, no, remember vampires, because they're dead, mate, right?
Right.
They have a lack of iron and red blood cells. And
Gotcha.
so they drink the blood of humans so that they maintain, that fresh blood with the iron and the nutrients. But that's also why they look pale, because there's a lack of iron in there.
I thought they were pale because they couldn't go out in the sun and get a suntan.
Well, there's that also, but it's pretty much the same symptoms as, I think, pernicious anemia, where you get the pale skin and all that.
I thought that was albino.
No.
Oh, that's the same thing, though.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So anyway, learned something on vampires as well, because they're probably more real than some of the things on here. It's another one, and they sound very excited about this one and very exact.
Okay.
You probably only breathe out of one nostril.
At a time?
Yeah.
Or all the time?
Well, I'm figuring it means like most of the time you're only breathing out of one nostril. Because it's not all the time, because you can block one nostril and breathe out the other and make lovely snot rockets and stuff.
Sure.
But,
So most of the time, when you're breathing in through your nose, you're saying you're only breathing in through one side.
Well, according to this, I'm not saying it. This
Right.
website is,
according to the article.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense.
All right, then I'll explain their reasoning behind it.
I mean, do you believe that?
No.
You don't?
No.
So you think when you're breathing through your nose and you're not thinking about it, it's going up both channels?
50-50.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Half on one, half on the other.
Right,
Yeah.
so this is a non-statement then, because if you have a bit of a cold or a blocked up
Well,
nose, just block one side, then yeah, you're going to breathe. So everybody probably at some stage only breathes through one nostril.
Sure. I think it's trying to say under normal circumstances, you're not sick, that you only, if both passages are open, you're only breathing through one of them at a time.
Yeah.
Unless you're like making that mental or, like focusing on trying to breathe.
Focusing on breathing through both nostrils.
Like a Mr. Miyagi thing.
For those of you watching on YouTube, the shepherd is now going to show you how to,
I just did it.
Using your brain, breathe through one nostril and then breathe through the other one and block the other one off.
I can't figure out how to just breathe through one.
Well, I thought you could do it mentally.
No, that's what I'm trying to do.
Mind over matter type thing.
I'm literally trying to do that, and I can't make it happen.
You can't do it. Oh, you sounded pretty confident before you started.
Right. But I think subconsciously, like when you're not thinking about breathing, like you're not thinking about, I'm going to breathe in and breathe out and do that. When you're walking around or like when we're talking, we're not thinking, breathe in, breathe out. Say a few more words. Breathe in, breathe out. We're not thinking about it. So I think when you're not thinking about it, it's when it's happening. Right. So you're never going to be able to find out if it's possible, because once you start thinking about it, then you can't do it.
Right. So for those of our listeners and viewers who have not yet got the hang of breathing, that is a short guide. And if you follow that, then you probably can't go wrong.
That's true.
Yeah. So let me read the bit they put with this. 85% of people only breathe out of one nostril at a time. And if you're exclusively breathing out of your nose, your automatic nervous system will naturally switch which nostril you use several times a day. Even crazier, the nostril you're using can actually affect some of your body's processes from the production of blood glucose and oxygen to which side of your brain is most active. All right, it lost me in that last part.
Yeah.
I don't understand what nostril relates to what.
Yeah. So is it like a left brain, right brain thing?
So if you're trying to think a little clearer, do you have to block one nostril and force it over to the smart nostril? Or?
Yeah, like if you're doing a math test, you want to use just the left nostril, but if you're painting a picture, then you want to use the right nostril?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, this one, I believe it, but I just don't care. It says Lego is the world's largest tiny tire manufacturer.
I believe that.
I believe that, but I just don't care.
I read some deal a long time ago that not only are they the world's largest tiny tire manufacturer, they're actually the world's largest tire manufacturer, period. Like they make more tires than like every other tire company combined, which makes sense.
Well, Lego makes 318 million tires per year, whereas Bridgestone, which is the second largest tire manufacturer, makes just 190 million tires per year.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's about half, right?
Right.
Yeah. Roughly.
All right. Let's move on to something interesting, something which we can all relate to. Most mammals take the same amount of time to pee, which I call bullshit on because you take about 10 minutes.
I know. So I don't think that's true. Does it go in to say what that average amount is?
Yeah.
What does it say?
From elephants to cats to human toddlers, most mammals take about 21 seconds to pee.
No.
Researchers say this is because the urethra, closely related to Aretha Franklin, who was a soul singer, I believe, is scaled to be a flow-enhancing device, or in my case, a kind of leaky device after I thought I'd finished. Mammal anatomy is built on a ratio. While an elephant has a much larger bladder and penis, I might add, I have been to the zoo regularly with my son, it has a long urethra to match.
Right.
There are exceptions for mammals less than 6.6 ounces, such as rats.
That's a pretty small rat, though.
Yeah. And I'm wondering, like...
But 21, I got to go back to the 21-second deal.
Yeah.
I don't believe that.
I can pee in under 21 seconds.
I can't.
Yeah, but there's a lot of mental prep when you do. You have to encourage yourself when you're in there, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
You know? You're like, come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on.
It's always disappointing.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
But I feel like my dog takes a lot longer than 21 seconds, too.
My dog takes like about a quarter of a second.
Well, your dog goes out and it's like that.
Well, yeah, because she walks out, back patio, looks at the fence, thinks, oh, what am I doing out here? Then turns around and comes back in again.
Right.
Yeah, and then pisses on the rug.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, next amazing fact, which may or may not be the result of taking meth. There are mites that live on human faces. Now, I did know this was true. And you have some on yours right now. You see, they've been very specific with the quantity of things you've got on your face. You've got some on your face. Some just underneath your right eye there.
More than 6.
Yeah. So, yep, there are tiny beings that live on your face, microscopic follicle mites called Demodex, pretty cool name, make their homes in human eyelashes, eyebrows, pores, and hair follicles. Minuscule 8-legged worm-like creatures. Well, they're not that bloody worm-like if they've got 8 legs, are they? Let's be honest. More caterpillar-like.
Yeah, I would go more spider-like if they have 8 legs.
Yeah, but maybe not that shaped. Oh. Maybe they think worm shape, which would still lean towards the lesser-legged caterpillar than the worm if it's got some legs. I believe.
That's true.
They lay eggs in your paws. They don't poop, at least while they're alive.
Wait.
Yeah.
At least while they're alive. So they wait till they're dead to poop?
I don't know. You'd think it would add a bit more to that, but it doesn't.
They lead their whole lives constipated, is what you're saying.
And then they just shit on your face when they're dead. Yeah, that's it. Right. Anyway, instead, they hold their waste inside their bodies and flush it out onto your skin upon death.
So what you're saying is basically they've taken all the nutrients they can get in there, and once their body is filled up with waste is when they die.
Yeah, and then they just poop all over your face.
How long do they live?
Doesn't say.
Well, that would be an interesting piece of information to have.
Yeah.
Are they reproducing while they're on your face?
Well, I guess they're laying eggs, unless they're born pregnant, unless they're like the those things in Star Trek. Remember those things which were born pregnant, all those fluffy type things, that episode of Star Trek?
Gremlins?
No, mate. It was some... Oh, I can't remember what they were called, but it's an episode of Star Trek, the old Star Trek.
I never watched that.
Tribbles or some crap like that.
Yeah,
and they
looks like gremlins.
they
look like
they didn't look like that at all. They just looked like a fluffy ball, literally.
That's what a gremlin looks like.
No, literally like
I'm talking about the cute gremlins, not the angry, evil gremlins.
No.
Okay.
Looks nothing like that.
I'm pretty sure it does.
No, I don't. No. That wasabi you get with your sushi order isn't actually wasabi.
That is true. It's horseradish. Right?
It says here, you know that little green ball of spicy deliciousness that comes with your favorite sushi roll? It's probably, there we go again, it's probably not really wasabi. In the US, 99% of sushi restaurants actually serve a horseradish-based concoction that's injected with green food coloring. True wasabi is actually pretty rare, even in Japan.
Yeah, but I saw, who's the dude that was on the Grand Tour? You know, the one that I like.
On the Grand Tour?
Yeah.
Of what?
Of Top Gear in the Grand Tour.
Jeremy Clarkson?
Jeremy Clarkson.
Yeah.
You know, he had that farming deal that he did.
No.
Yeah, he like started a farm, but he grew actual wasabi plants. And they're like super expensive or whatever. Most of them died, of course, you know, but he was trying to sell them to sushi restaurants and never could get any sold.
Wow.
But yeah, super expensive stuff.
Now,
But I think in that show is where they said that it's usually horseradish that you're buying when you get wasabi. That's the only reason I knew that.
I feel a little bit short-changed, to be honest.
Well, you know just well as I do, if a British person says it, I believe it. So anything that I know, I've either learned from you or Jeremy Clarkson.
Right. Yeah. Here's one. Cornflakes were invented to prevent masturbation.
Okay, see, I've heard that before, but I think that's one of those old wives' tale stories.
Well, I saw the movie about the dude, the Kellogg's dude, like years and years ago.
The founder,
Yeah.
Ray Kroc.
And it was, I think it alluded to it or mentioned that in the movie. I think it's kind of true loosely. But anyway, let me read it.
Okay.
There we go. So Dr. John Harvey Kellogg was extremely prudish and believed sex was a heinous sin. He didn't even sleep with his own wife.
Was she ugly?
I don't know. But in Kellogg's book...
You know, they always say the devil's in the details, right? So...
Well, it didn't show a photo of her, so...
yeah,
you know.
but it might not be his fault.
No. His solution, give people a healthy breakfast option to avoid masturbation. He believed that certain foods, such as meat, increased sexual desire, while cereal and nuts had the power to temper it. So...
You know, I haven't had a bowl of cereal in a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't. I kind of miss cereal. And I've got plenty of it at my house. I mean, my kids eat cereal every day for breakfast, but I haven't had a bowl of cereal in forever.
I find oatmeal puts me off masturbation more than cornflakes.
I haven't had a bowl of oatmeal.
Well, just the time it takes to prep, I'm kind of not in the mood by then.
Well, that's true.
You see, I could eat a quick bowl of cornflakes, masturbate, and get off and go about my day, but with oatmeal, it takes a little bit more preparation, and I kind of lose the will to self-entertain after I've been doing oatmeal.
Yeah.
Right. Most cruise ships have their own morgue. I think we can believe that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's an estimated 200 people die on cruise ships each year. Is a good one. Especially good for you because you're colorblind. All Fruit Loops are the same flavor.
I knew that.
He did know that?
Yeah.
And to you, the same color.
Yes, and the same color. And it's not spelled Fruit. It's Froot or something like that. Yeah.
You might have thought that pink loops were strawberry flavored, orange loops orange flavored, but the only non-negligible difference is the color. Right. If you thought you had a favorite, you were wrong.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I always thought they all tasted the same.
Right. Okay. keeping with colours, so this right down your street.
Right in my alley.
Right, yeah. Like selling gloves to a snake.
Yes.
Right. The word for the colour blue is a relatively modern invention.
You mean the word blue?
The word for the colour blue, well, I'm guessing that could have been phrased slightly better, but yeah, the word for the colour blue is a relatively modern invention.
So what they call blue before they called it blue?
Right. Let's find out. Through studying literature, so basically they didn't see the word blue in books, which were really old, and then they saw it and thought, oh, maybe blue didn't make an appearance on the scene until like a couple of 100 years ago.
Yeah, but the sky's always been blue.
We don't know that, do we?
Well, that's true. We don't.
Other than painters' representations of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And it depends on the painter.
And they rule on absinthe, so we can't really trust them.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially who's the one that did the swirly one? Van Gogh.
Yeah.
That was a messed up looking sky.
Yeah. He paints some nice sunflowers, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, through studying literature, researchers determined that many of the ancient civilizations, including the Greeks, Chinese, Japanese, and Hebrews, didn't have a word in their language to describe the color blue. In fact, the ancient Egyptians are the only people to exhibit evidence of perceiving the color. It makes you wonder what colors we have yet to discover. I don't think it does. Be careful, you might be stuck thinking about it for the rest of your life. I
think we're going to stop thinking about it when we go to the next sentence.
They're assuming a level of excitement which I have not reached. Always a good one. Frogs, always good for entertainment.
Yeah, Kermit.
Yeah.
Kermit's a pretty good singer.
Yeah, he's good. Didn't like his nephew much, though. He's a whiny little ass.
Nephew?
Yeah, Robin, I think he was called. He sang that song like about 30, 40 years ago called Halfway Up the Stairs. And it's Robin's nephew. He was around for a short period of time.
Yeah, I don't remember
Didn't get
that.
very popular, and then they kind of did off with him, a bit like Scrappy do.
Right.
You know, he went to live on the farm somewhere.
Good. I don't remember.
Over the other side of the Rainbow Bridge.
Yeah. I don't remember Kermit's nephew.
Yeah, Robin. He sang it. So I was like, halfway up the stairs is the stair where I sit. And imagine like that for about 3.5 minutes.
I don't want to.
No. So frogs use their eyeballs to swallow.
I don't believe that.
You don't believe that? Okay. Well, I'm neither going to prove it nor disprove it with this 2 sentences of incredible explanation here. If you've ever seen a frog close its eyes after it eats, it's not just blinking. After researchers used x-rays to observe frogs while they ate, they found that when swallowing, a frog will retract its eyeballs down to its esophagus to push the food down.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all.
I'd like to see the x-rays, really, with some arrows pointing to what's going on.
Wait a second, though. Hang on. I might be changing my own mind, because isn't it frogs that lick their eyeballs?
Well, yeah, they can lick their eyeballs, some of them, because they're getting them, bugs.
They shoot their tongues out and catch bugs. I know that, but isn't it frogs that typically stick their tongue out and lick their eyes?
Well, and lizards. Mainly lizards, I think you're thinking of.
Yeah. So do lizards use their eyeballs to swallow?
I've got no clue, mate.
Because
I'm not convinced by the whole frog thing, I'll be honest with you.
But if they do use their eyeballs to swallow, it would make sense why they're licking their eyes.
No.
Getting the extra food off their eyeballs.
I don't think this is going to be enough to convince yourself that frogs use their eyeballs to eat. Anyway, strange title, this one. Bald eagles don't sound like you think they do.
I honestly don't know what they sound like.
Well,
like
just
caw-caw.
No, I think they just fly around being like, freedom!
Well,
and that kind of crap, you know.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I always imagine them, if they had arms, they would all play Leonard Skinner songs.
Right. And drive motorbikes and stuff, yeah. So here we go. When you think of a bald eagle, which isn't often, I'll be honest with you, you probably think of a majestic creature with a mighty call.
What is the national bird of England?
Do
y'all have one?
You know, I honestly don't know. It's probably something really annoying like the swan or the goose. Waterfowl.
Yeah. I could see it being a goose.
Yeah. Geese are
wait. Is it a swan, though? Because isn't there some, like, weird thing that the Queen of England owns all the swans in England?
Yeah, she does, yeah.
So it maybe
Might
it's
be,
the swan.
might be the swan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
I told you I used to have a swan I feed Milky Way to.
Yeah.
It used to attack everybody, but I'd sit down on this bench at the park.
But you couldn't attack it because it belonged to the queen.
Well,
so if you would have hurt Milky Way, would you have went to like swan prison?
if I hurt Milky Way,
Yeah.
what do you mean hurt Milky Way?
Hurt Milky Way the swan.
Oh, I
Remember?
wasn't the name I gave to it.
That's what you told me before.
No, that's just how I decided him from the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Because he hung around with some other swans which were less friendly than him.
Oh.
But he used to attack everybody and anybody.
Gotcha.
And so we deliberately, to begin with, had to walk like an extra quarter of a mile around the park to actually get home, get to the bus stop to get home at college, right? So one day I decided, screw it, not doing it. I was eating a Milky Way. He came, kind of was like pecking at my calves, some crap like that. And so I kind of like threw down a piece of Milky Way and he ate it. And I stood there for about 2 minutes while he chewed it, because at this point, I will admit, I'm not sure if there's a safety issue feeding Milky Ways to swans.
Right.
A bit chewy than they're than they're used to.
Not only that, but there's probably no sign up saying please do not feed candy bars to the swans.
Right. You know, I mean, I know they struggle like eating fisherman netting, but they also apparently struggle eating Milky Ways. But anyway, so he kind of liked that. And as I kept walking, he was just following me, but not being aggressive. And so I just sat down on the bench and he hopped up onto the bench next to me and I fed him like another 2-3 chunks of Milky Way. And then no joke, like I went through there on the way back probably a couple of times a week, depending on when my classes were. And he would follow me each time. We would sit on that bench and I'd give him some Milky Way. But when I would walk with friends, it'd still try and attack my friends.
But he stopped attacking you.
But he stopped attacking me.
Because he knew you would give him Milky Ways.
Because I would give him Milky Way, yeah.
So did you ever go into that park without Milky Ways and think, oh crap, I forgot my candy bars?
Didn't want to take the rest, to be honest with you, mate.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was one of those, like, leaving the house with your wallet and your keys. You're not going to forget the Milky Ways.
He probably died of diabetes a couple of months later. He did start getting a bit fat, but that could have been for a number of reasons.
Was he still there when you moved away?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. So here we go. Eagles. We want to know how they cry, right? How that sound they make. Right, here we go. When you think of a bald eagle, you probably think of a majestic creature with a mighty call. But the piercing cry that most people associate with the bird is actually the sound made by the red-tailed hawk. Real bald eagles actually make more of a chirping noise.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of disappointing. Because, you associate just some, like, crazy scream, like you say, freedom!
Yeah. So here's one, which we can try and prove or disprove if you want.
Okay.
We're going to have an extra person on hand to actually
so that
verify this.
Okay.
But anyway, dead people can still get erections.
I'm going to go with no.
I'm going to go with yes, just simply because, the body does some weird things after you die. I mean, like, your nails and hair can continue growing for weeks afterwards.
No, that's not true.
But that's more to do with the recession of your things. But
the reason I say no on the erection thing is that is based off of blood flow. Mm-hmm. And if your blood isn't flowing because you're dead, how would you get an erection?
Well, remember, it has to settle somewhere. The blood settles in different parts.
On your feet.
Yeah. Well, apparently it also sometimes heads towards your knob. Oh. Right. So it's so common for dead bodies to get erections, there's actually a term for it. Angel lust, which I think kind of should have chosen something else.
Yeah, that sounds like a designer drug.
Right. Angel lust. I'd like some angel lust, please. This is most likely to happen after a sudden death in the vertical or face down position. But that's not all. The muscle contractions that occur as rigor mortis sets in can even cause ejaculation.
I forgot about rigor mortis.
Yeah, can even cause ejaculation. And they put at the end there, their first attempt at being funny, that could make for an awkward funeral. Well, yeah, if he's naked.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think... And plus, this is... assuming they're not burying him the same day...
Right.
I'm thinking like 5 days later, it might have subsided a little bit.
Because he can't call his doctor, like the whole Viagra, if it's longer than 4 hours, because he's already dead.
Right. Well, the morticians tend to do a pretty good job with the makeup. I'm pretty sure they could put on some tight underwear or something to make sure he's,
It's like take a rope and tie it down, tie it to the leg, something.
You wouldn't really need a rope to tie your penis down, would you?
No.
Maybe get some
Scotch tape.
Little piece, like not much longer than the end of your thumb or something.
Right.
Here's one. I've read this a bunch of times, but it's another one of those ones I really don't care about. Your cell phone has more germs than your toilet seat. Now, it's assuming a lot. I bet it doesn't have more germs than my toilet seat. Maybe more than the average toilet seat, but...
Well, okay, let's talk in averages, though. The average phone and the average toilet seat. I would go with, yes, the phone has more germs.
Yeah. Do you think that applies to girls as well?
I think girls are worse. Yeah. I think girls' phones are worse than guys' phones.
Why? Because they don't wash their hands when they go to the bathroom.
No, they have all that nasty stuff in their purse.
Oh, that's true.
They never clean out the inside of their purse.
Right.
I mean, if you think about that, in all the makeup and everything that they throw in there, and they throw just tons and tons of stuff in there, and their phone in there.
And food, bits of food.
And bits of food, and Band-Aids, and, drugs, everything else they keep in there.
Right. Well... Scientists have found that cell phones carry more than 10 times the bacteria of a toilet seat.
Yeah, see?
So,
I believe that.
Yeah.
Totally believe that. Yeah. And think about how many times you've looked at my phone and gotten all pissed off because you say my phone always looks filthy. Like, I was over at your house one day, remember? And you took my phone from me one day and cleaned it because it was driving you so nuts.
That's because it was as greasy as well.
Exactly.
Yeah. So. Yeah. All right. Bearcat urine smells like buttered popcorn.
Bearcat
I don't even know what a bearcat is.
I don't either.
Should we look up a picture of what a bearcat looks like?
No.
Because what do you think a bearcat looks like?
Like a big
half bear, half cat.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the equivalent of the Minotaur, but using different animals.
I mean, a bear that just like knocks stuff off tables and poops in a box.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it says the next time you walk into a movie theater and your mouth starts to water, you should know that you're smelling the exact same scent as bearcat urine. These Southeast Asian mammals cover their feet and tails in their unique smelling urine to let other bearcats know their presence. So, question there. The communication system between animals is pretty advanced, right? In some,
apparently,
like dolphins, elephants, and
like whales. They sing songs
even dogs, other. And have different methods of communication. So, why is the first port of call for this one been pissing over its own feet and tail? Surely, if it was able to make some sound, it might have been like, "Look, do a longer squeak for yes and a shorter squeak for no."
Right.
If you're lost, just squeak continually till we find you. Not like, all right, mate. If there's any predators coming, piss on your feet.
Right.
Okay. What about if I find food? Piss on your feet. Okay.
What if you're ready to mate?
Piss on your feet.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
They could have come up with something better.
Those
are some lazy animals.
Yes. Abraham Lincoln's dog was also assassinated.
What?
Yeah. Not last week. Don't look that shocked. This was quite a while ago. But
I didn't think they allowed dogs in the theater.
Well, I don't think at the same time. I don't think it was a dual assassination. It wasn't a twofer.
Okay.
No, this was at a later date.
Well, that's poor Mary Todd.
Well, it's exaggerated, this, actually. I wouldn't really call it an assassination. It's more of a murder, a cold-blooded murder than a deliberate assassination. Because assassination, you kind of think you've got a target. It's a deliberate target you're killing, right? An assassination.
Right.
You don't assassinate somebody random unless,
Sure. So you don't think that when the dog was killed, the person that killed it intended to kill Lincoln's dog?
No, because I've read the end of the article.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, fill me in.
I am. So, President Abraham Lincoln had a yellow mixed breed dog named Fido. A year after the president's assassination, Fido was also killed. The dog reportedly jumped onto a drunken man sitting on a curb. In an intoxicated rage, the man stabbed the dog to death. What was Fido doing? Just randomly?
Yeah. I think I kind of got to blame the dog on this one. It sounded like the guy was just defending himself.
Well, was he homeless after Abraham was kind of killed?
Well, I guess.
Put the dog on the streets.
Who let the dog out?
Right.
To let the dog be able to do that.
Yeah.
And how far away from the White House did the dog wander off before this happened?
Yeah.
There's a lot of holes in this story.
Right. I also kind of like the way they've put in an intoxicated rage. So they probably questioned the guy afterwards, took him down to the police station, say, all right, why'd you stab the dog, mate? He goes, well, I'm clearly drunk and I was angry. And, so,
and the dog attacked me.
And yeah, that's not an assassination.
Does it have the guy's name?
No, it doesn't.
So we don't know if he got in trouble or anything like that?
Well, I mean, we could have looked it up, but that
we're
involves
not gonna do that.
Looking it up.
Yeah.
Right. Here we go. Wombats poop in cubes. Now, I want to say up front, this isn't like where you work in the open plan office. I know a lot of people have become very fond of working from home during COVID. This is not another good reason to remain working at home.
Exactly.
Wombats poop in cubes.
I believe that.
Yeah. Nature has many marvels, and among them are the amazing cubic poops of wombats.
Okay, so that's true.
This adorable animal deposits its feces in a perfect cube shape.
Like how big of a cube? Are we talking about like Rubik's Cube size? Are we
at
talking
least.
about like dice?
Yeah, I know at least. I think it's about the size of, like if you take a robot vacuum cleaner,
right?
Probably the size of the box that comes in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
Yeah.
Mine came in a rectangle, though, not a cube.
Well, maybe some of them have got well, how do they do it in a perfect cube? Do they just like shut it off? Because I can understand, all right, getting a little bit of a square shape on the end there. Maybe they have a square shaped anus. I don't know.
Right.
But when you're pushing out, just like when a human do a poop, right? Sometimes if it's a lot of effort, you can kind of cut it off halfway and then finish it off.
Right.
How does the wombat...
Basically, you take a break.
Between. Does the wombat kind of think like, oh, yeah, that seems roughly cubic-ish?
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wonder if it's all like pre-made up in like their stomach and intestines and everything.
I'm surprised somewhere in Asia...
I bet that would be a good pet, a wombat.
What, just for the poop or for other reasons?
Because then you can build stuff with the poop.
Well,
like Minecraft.
Well, I was going to say, I bet you somewhere in Asia, they must take those cubes and do something to them and put them in some food.
Yeah, or create diseases.
Yeah. Did they do that in Asia? Create
I think
diseases?
So. Yeah. I heard a rumor.
Oh, I heard a rumor. Right. The traditional shape of the heart was inspired by an ancient form of birth control. No, because we don't really understand that. The traditional shape of the heart, so they mean like the perception of what shaped the heart with us before anybody saw it? Or do they mean that kind of love heart?
Love heart, that's what I'm picturing.
Right. Was inspired by an ancient form of birth control. Okay. Obviously, the hearts we cut out for Valentine's Day cards are not anatomically correct. One theory about the shape's origin is that it came from a type of fennel, don't know what either of those words are, that the ancient Greeks and Romans used for medicine, food flavoring, and most popularly, birth control. In fact, the plant is extinct now because they were using so much of it. And the seeds were shaped like our modern-day love heart.
Oh, so we were wrong. That's interesting.
Here's one which is, I don't even call it interesting.
Oh, well then... By all means, tell us.
So we'll dwell on this one for about 8 minutes. Right. All cereal box mascots are looking down.
That's not true.
Is it?
No.
Who isn't?
Toucan Sam's looking up.
Toucan Sam's? What is that?
Fruit Loops. We just talked about Fruit Loops.
And they're looking up,
are
they?
The toucan. He's
the toucan. Is he? You sure about that?
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think you are, right? You've doubted. I saw you doubting yourself before you even finished.
Here's another one. Tony the Tiger. Because he's going, they're great. And he's looking up. He's not looking up. The hell he's not.
He's saying he's looking up like this.
Well, he's not looking down.
How do you know he's not looking at the bowl?
He's not, because he's got his finger up in the air saying they're great.
Are you sure you're not thinking about the animated commercial as opposed to the actual still picture on the box?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I saw a meme with some knockoff Frosted Flakes once, and it had this bog standard tiger, and it had underneath, they're acceptable. So let me read this and see what it says. The next time you go to the cereal aisle in your grocery store, pay attention to the eyes on the boxes. You won't be able to unnotice that every mascot is looking down. The reason, so they can make eye contact with children. What is this if you keep the cereal box on top of the refrigerator?
I don't believe
Or
this.
the child lays its head on the table while it's looking at cereal, but I don't understand that. By doing this,
but I still just don't believe they're all looking down.
by doing this, they grab kids' attention and establish feelings of trust, making children more likely to ask their parents to buy a box of cereal.
No, that seems a lot more creepier than trustworthy.
I think it's bollocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't buy that one.
Yeah. Right, this one I do know is true. Jelly beans are coated with insect secretions.
Well, I believe that. I mean, I'm sure they call it something else, but yeah, makes sense.
No, because I've actually seen I think on ingredients and things, something insect parts.
I don't know what kind of jelly beans you're eating, but I'm pretty sure the ones that I eat don't have insect parts on the ingredients list.
They're normally those ones from those gas stations where they're in the...
Yeah, you do buy a lot of cheap food at the gas station.
Yeah, it's not even sealed properly. It's basically some tape which they're folded over at the top.
Right.
But I take that, actually, as somebody's been going around doing quality control, trying something in every packet to make sure it tastes fresh, and then...
That'd be a good job.
Yeah, it would be. Well, it depends what food, actually.
Right.
Humanity has farted approximately 17 quadrillion times over the course of human history.
Well, once again, how are you going to prove that?
The average human farts 14 times a day, apparently.
Well, I'm above average then.
Yeah. There we go. There have been approximately... Yeah, so they're just multiplying 14 by however many people think. Yeah. Again, it's a lot of
that's
conjecture there.
Right.
Yeah. One kiss transfers more than 80 million germs. I bet I can double that.
80
million, yeah.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah, but like I said, but again, I mean, it depends, doesn't it? I mean, you can't...
Yeah, but if germs.
If you're going to make out with a hobo, then yeah, you're probably going to get 80 million germs. But maybe not, because maybe his immune system from eating out of trash cans has made him so he's barely got any germs which are transferable in a kiss.
Point.
Irony being, can't get a kiss.
Not only that, but if he has a dog, then his mouth's probably as clean as the dog's mouth.
Right. Because unlike that Bearcat, like the Bearcat, he's also probably pissing over his own feet, so his chances of getting a kiss been reduced.
And unlike the Wombat, he's probably not pooping in cubes. If he lives in San Francisco, though, he's pooping on the street.
Yeah, it would be better if they did poop in cubes, though, because it'd be easier to clean up, because then they could just stack it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or imagine selling it, because then you could use it as fertilizer, couldn't you? Fertilizer cubes.
Yeah.
Great idea. We'll have to get on to our marketing department about that. Right. So, bookstores give some people the urge to poop.
I believe that.
I believe that. Just
the thought of having to go into a bookstore makes me want to have to go poop.
Well, I'll be honest. I use that "I'm going to the restroom" excuse when I'm in there, and I just sit down and play on my phone.
Oh, I hate bookstores.
And that's when I go by myself.
You know, that's one thing I've got to applaud Amazon for, is putting most of those bookstores out of business.
Yeah.
I hate bookstores.
I know you do.
I hate reading. Yeah.
I find even like some of the audio books, they're hard work, even though I'm laying there with my eyes closed. It's like they need to find a way to make this easier.
So now here's one, though, and it probably doesn't say this in the article. If bookstores make you want to poop, what about libraries? Wouldn't you think by default
maybe
you have that same feeling?
No, because I think it's only new books that make you want to poop.
So
libraries tend to be used books.
What about half-price books? They're all used books, though. I got you.
Yeah.
I got you there.
I don't know. Let me read the article, see what it says. One Japanese expression called the Mariko Aoki phenomenon theorizes that walking into a bookstore ignites the urge to defecate. The condition is named after a woman who mentioned it in a magazine article in 1985. Once again...
What magazine?
Cutting edge science here.
Right.
Yeah. Science has yet to uncover a clear reason as to why this happens. And that's it. So there's no proof on this. Some woman mentioned it in a magazine in 1985. The Japanese gave it a term. And so anybody who feels like they need to poop when they go into a bookstore, apparently.
Yeah. Well, good for her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Made her mark in history.
Right. Yeah. Scientists used to believe there were little people inside of sperm.
What about the eggs?
This is purely just the sperm.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Scientists used to believe it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll buy that one.
Right. Well, now some scientists believe there are 100 and something different genders, so I don't know if we've really come very far. Right. Fortunately, this idea has since been debunked, but the mental image will stay with you forever. Not really true, but back in the 1600s, performationism?
Preformationism? Yeah, let's go with preformationism.
It sounds like a...
Preformationism?
Yeah,
maybe?
It sounds like another Christian Protestant sect which broke off sometime after the Council of Trent. Back in the 1600s, this word we can't say was a popular idea. The theory that living beings grow from smaller versions of themselves. Per this theory...
But that's true. I mean, we grow up, we were kids, and then we grow up.
Well, yeah, they think like your penis is shooting like tiny humans
That
out there that then just grow bigger.
Humans.
So they probably think the egg is just like the tent it's growing up in and has all the nutrients in there, the canned food and all that stuff.
Right.
And then
the cereal.
Yeah, and then when the baby grows big enough, it just walks out the vagina. So,
right. Well, that makes sense.
Yeah. So, they believe that there were fully formed humans curled up in sperm cells. They also believe that every person carried all of their future offspring with them, and that those offspring carried their future offspring with them.
Yeah, but isn't that really true, though, for women? Like, when a woman's born, she already has all her eggs.
Yeah.
And, like, once she's out, she's out. They don't make a bunch of eggs. Like, they have this finite supply of eggs, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Right.
Yeah. So they were on the right track, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Walt Disney almost named the 7 dwarves Chesty, Tubby, Burpy, Deafy, Hickey, Wheezy, and Awful.
Wait, say those names again. Slower.
Chesty.
Okay.
Tubby, Burpy, Deafy, Hickey, Wheezy, and Awful. I could see there could be a modern day issue with some of these being cancelled if they went with some of those.
Yeah. Cheeky?
No, you made that one up, mate.
Oh. See, I already forgot them all.
Wheezy.
He's
obviously got asthma.
Sneezy.
Awful.
Probably.
He's probably works for CNN, has been caught as another paedophile or something.
Isn't there a one, like the real ones, in there one angry or something like that?
I can't,
Grumpy. That's the one I'm trying to think of. Yeah. And then what about Doc?
Deafy. What a name.
That's
just because he can't hear. Deafy.
That's lazy.
Well, at least at the end of the day, you're not going to offend him because he can't hear, but it's still a bit of a
Deafy.
Not really nice, is it?
That's pretty lazy writing.
Right.
Especially for Disney.
Chesty. What does that mean?
Is that the female?
Because it can't be the same as Tubby, can it?
No.
Chesty. Was he got like a...
Why wasn't there like a fat dwarf?
Well, they were all a bit fat, except for Dopey. What's the youngish looking one with a bald head? That was Dopey, wasn't it?
No, Dopey had it. Well, they all had hats, didn't they?
Yeah, but I thought Dopey had I thought he looked kind of like a malnutritioned.
Right. Yeah, he was like real skinny.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway, when you see a shooting star, it could just be astronaut poop.
No, I don't believe that.
When astronaut poop is released into space, it burns up with an effect much like a shooting star. I think unless you've done an intergalactic size shit, I can't see how.
I don't see how
from
you
out Earth orbit or when it's re-entering the atmosphere, how you're going to see a piece of
not
poop on
something
fire.
that small. You're not going to see that. No,
I don't believe that.
I don't believe that.
Yeah,
one.
Starfish eat with their stomachs inside out. Knew that one. Did you know with starfish though, if you cut an arm off a starfish, that arm will grow into a whole nother starfish.
Right, and the arm that's missing grows back.
Yeah. Pretty good.
That's how they reproduce.
Yeah.
They cut their arms
pretty
off.
Good. Right. Let me get to a great one to finish on. Something which doesn't sound quite as much bollocks as everything else I've mentioned so far. Honey, we know how bees make honey. Oh, here we go. turtles breathe out of their butts.
I saw that in a news article today. Like, for some weird reason. I don't know why. I think it was something to do with like a knock on a politician or whatever. It was like, even turtles can breathe out of their butts or something like that. Right. It's just weird you bring that up because I literally saw that earlier in some news article I read.
It wasn't Turtle Butt Breathing Monthly or like the email edition.
I haven't gotten mine.
Which you signed up to get some.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that yet.
Have you ever done those online things where it says, like, oh, you can win $1,000 Walmart gift card or $1,000 in Cash App money sent to you and stuff? And it says all you have to do is fill out this simple survey.
I think a long time ago I probably
all right.
did.
Well, these pop up quite a bit. I think it's got something to do with the type of websites I visit. But
probably.
Yeah. But one day I decided, all right, I'm going to try and fill one of these out. Okay. So every time you fill out one of these kind of quizzes or surveys, they give you another one. And in between these quizzes, they ask you like, how up to date is your health insurance? All this type of stuff, some health questions. Do you suffer from 2 arms growing out your back? Have you made use of them? That type of stuff. I think it took me just over 2 hours to fill out all this stuff, only for it to say right at the end, small print right at the bottom, all that work I did just guarantees me an entry into a sweepstakes to win $1,000 gift card. Oh. So any of you people who think you're going to sit down there while the Real Housewives of Hall County is on in the background and fill out one of these little surveys, and don't bother doing it, because it's going to take 2 hours, and all it does is you just get entered into a sweepstakes.
Well, that's good. I mean, at least we're providing a public service, for everybody that's listened to this.
Right.
So don't fill those out because you don't really win anything.
Unless, of course, that was specific to the one I did, and the rest of them were actually a very good method of winning money. I don't know. In which case, I'm sorry.
I had a friend of mine tell me, and I don't know if I believe this or not, but those ads that say there's women, like single women, really close to you that want to meet you.
Single women in your area want to meet you.
He said those aren't true.
That's not true. No, because they put when I drive to the office, it's not out all the time, but there's one corner right by the Kroger and Tom Thumb on Ruth Snow when you're going down 1507.
Or 1709.
1709. 1507.
1507.
It's my house number.
It's like, where did you get 1507?
I have no clue. Yeah. But these signs aren't around like year round, but frequently they'll be there. Local singles in your area want to meet you.
Right.
Local singles are dying to meet you.
Okay.
They've used that one more and more since COVID, actually. And it's got a number underneath for you to call. Now, I don't know if this is the local single who is dying to meet me, which has the number, or that's just a number to kind of sign up to a dating agency. And I'm going to be really impressed if it's just a local person who has thought, screw Match.com. I'm just going to set it up myself. I'm going to have this database of maybe about 40 people, hopefully getting 50-50 in terms of gender ratios.
Right.
And then try and match them all together.
Okay, so could you not get one of those like Google phone number things and then put that number on the sign? And then say...
the Google Voice stuff.
Yeah, where you can get those and then it calls like your phone or whatever, so you don't have to give out your real phone number, right? Yeah. So what if we got one of those and then everybody signs up to this, and then when you call that number, says if you're seeking a man, press 1. If you're seeking a woman, press 2. If you're seeking something other than that, hang up.
If you don't care,
right?
hit
and
5917426.
Right. Yeah. And then you push the button and then it just rings somebody's phone randomly.
Randomly, yeah.
I mean, then you can sign your phone number up to be called randomly.
Well, when you say randomly, you mean randomly within that people who have signed up for the service.
Exactly.
Right. So it's be more of a blind date, trust the vetting procedure.
Well, not only that, but then, person answers the phone like, hello, and like, are you the local single in my area wanting to meet me? And the person's like, yeah, I've been waiting for your call all day, right? I don't know. There's got to be a way we can monetize that.
Well,
Isn't that really basically how like Match.com and everything started out anyway?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm a little concerned about the vetting procedure because the vetting procedure tends to be...
we're not going to have any
tends to
vetting
be
procedure.
anybody who's willing to call this number.
Right.
You know, local singles are willing to be murdered in your area. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that could turn out kind of bad, I guess.
Yeah.
I see your point. Yeah. Well, hey, that'll do it for... Man, I tell you what, I hate this mouse.
Did you not get a new one for
No,
Christmas?
I was going to get a new mouse for Christmas, and I still haven't done it. I got to order one on Amazon.
Father Christmas sucks.
I know he does. But hey, thanks for spending some time with us today. That will do it for this episode of The Wolf and the Shepherd. If you're watching this on YouTube, click our little logo there and subscribe to our page. We'd appreciate that. And we will catch you on the next one.